to another YouTube video, and today we'll be doing our Payback 2023 predictions video. Now, this pay-per-view is this is the first pay-per-view that we had this year where it feels like a proper B show, where like the build hasn't been so great to it. However, there's a few matches that I'm actually really excited for, and this last week has really like helped me get behind these matches, and one of those being we'll probably talk about later, but yeah, I'm actually more excited than I thought I would be for this pay-per-view, but yeah.
Yeah, some people are saying they don't like the card or whatever, but I personally do like it. It's like a lot of story building, like matches in here. Like LA Knight and Miz, is this their final one? Are they gonna keep going? Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke. Is Shinsuke finally gonna get a big win? Becky versus Trish. Some people are getting tired of it. Is this gonna be the end of their feud? Well, Damage Control all hold belts by the end of the night. So there's a lot of questions to be answered. So I'm kind of a fan of.
With like with every match on the card as well, it's like either there's a stipulation match, or it's a title on the line, or there's like a good story going into it. So like it has really like picked up. But starting with the first match on the card, we have Becky Lynch take on Trish Stratus in a steel cage match. And who do you have for this one?
I would assume it would be Becky, because if this is gonna be the end of the feud, I assume Becky's gonna win the feud.
Yeah.
And she's probably like one of the strongest women wrestlers right now. It's like her and Rhea Ripley, basically.
For sure.
So yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Becky Lynch as well. I think the end path for the women's world champion, the one that Rhea holds, will probably be a match between Rhea versus Becky. Kind of a spoiler for the pick, probably for that match, but yeah, I think that's kind of your end goal. And there's also been like rumors that Becky Lynch might go to NXT for a little while and do some things down there, work with like Tiffany Stratton and stuff like that. Sure, Stratus, I don't see maybe which she goes after this, but I do think she's gonna take the loss here, and we're gonna have the Becky Lynch win. And hopefully this match gets a little bit of time, because I feel like this feud has got delayed after it wasn't on SummerSlam, which it probably should have been, especially knowing in hindsight what happened in that Ronda match. But yeah, I think this match will hopefully be a good, decent, long match. So yeah. But then moving on to our next match, we have Rhea Ripley taking on Raquel Rodriguez for the Women's World Champion. But who do you have for this one?
I think I'm gonna go with the Judgment Day winning, and it's kind of like a spoiler for my next one, but Judgment Day stands tall at the end of the night.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Rhea Ripley as well. I think Raquel is probably one of the few women who, like, right now I could beat her. However, I think the Rhea Ripley title run hasn't been great at all, and this is kind of her first big opponent, I would say. But yeah, I think it'll be a pretty solid, clean win from Rhea. But hopefully it's a good match, because I think this one can go 50-50. But then moving on from that, we have Rey Mysterio taking Austin Theory for the United States Championship. And who do you have in this one?
This one I think I'm going to go with Rey Mysterio retaining, just because I would like to see the LA Knight versus Rey Mysterio thing happen next.
Yeah, for me, I'm also going to go Rey Mysterio as well. I think him just winning it, I think he will be a transitional championship where he'll only hold it for a little while and pass it on to somebody else, and he's going to get that notoriety, and that like whoever beats him, it's not like that big win to feel to it. So I think Rey holds it here. Which I kind of don't like the fact that they had Austin Theory versus Rey. I wish they had like another like contender, like some sort of tournament to decide the number one contender. Because we all kind of know that it's probably built to a Rey Mysterio versus Santos Escobar match, kind of the LWO feud kind of thing. Depending on how that goes, but yeah, I think Rey Mysterio pulls off the win for this match. And then moving on, we have the tag team titles on the line in a Steel City street fight. And throughout, we have Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn taking on the Judgment Day and the combination of Finn Balor and Damian Priest. And who do you have for this one?
Yeah, like I said, it's kind of like a spoiler from the last Judgment Day match, but I think Judgment Day wins, and everyone's holding the title by the end of the night, unless something happens to Dominic, I guess. But for now, yeah.
I'm gonna go Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. I think now that Kevin Owens is finally back healthy and stuff like that, and they're able to wrestle more, I think this will be like the first big match of their title reign, because really this title reign, they've really only done business with Finn Balor and Damian Priest and basically the entirety of Judgment Day. So I'm kind of hoping this is like kind of like their last big match between the two groups. I'm sure it's not. But yeah, I kind of hope this is it, because I feel like it's going to be dragging on for a bit too much. I think there's a lot of tag teams right now who are a viable threat to them, and I think this has kind of have run its mark for this point, and I think this need to move on to something different. At least.
Yeah, and I think they're kind of like what you said about Ray earlier. It's going to be transitional champions because we all know the breakup's going to happen. And I think it'll be relatively soon after they win the belts, assuming, they do. I think it'll be pretty quick after that, where something will happen between them. They'll lose the belts, and just something's going to happen.
Yeah. And I feel like this match is going to be kind of crazy as well because it's going to be a street fight as well. So you don't really see those too much for, like, tag team matches, but I'm sure if this goes on last, especially, this will have some crazy spots, I'm sure, as well. So definitely one of the matches I'm most excited for. But then moving on, we have LA Knight taking on The Miz. And this feud has been great. The promos that each man has been coming back and forth with, especially Miz this past week when he dressed up as LA Knight, I think that was pretty funny. And he got everybody in the crowd and stuff like that. But for this one, I think I'm gonna go The Miz actually for this one, simply because I don't think this will be a one-off match. I think this is gonna be like a 3-series fight again, similar to that Cody and Brock feud. I think The Miz pulls off like a sneaky one here, maybe like a roll up or like has like his foot on the ropes or something like that, and he gets like a cheap win. And I think I can like build more hype towards LA Knight, and then the next 2 pay-per-views he finally wins off and caps off the feud with The Miz.
Yeah, I'm gonna go the opposite. I think LA Knight's gonna win. This will be like just a big win for, not I guess a big win because it's a small pay-per-view and it's The Miz, but it's still a big win for him. Probably just a match that they both wanted to have with each other. Anyway. But yeah, I think this will be like him transitioning to going against Ray for that, and then that'll go into the Santos Escobar thing, like you said. But I think, it'll be LA Knight winning and then going against Ray for the United States Championship at whatever. What is the next pay-per-view?
It'll be Fastlane.
Fastlane. So yeah, potentially there.
And then last up for our main event, we have Seth Rollins take on Shinsuke Nakamura for the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, this match is another one I'm really excited for, especially with the build they're doing, how they're kind of leaning more into Shinsuke going back to like his roots, and Seth Rollins bringing up the Tokyo Dome and the man he used to be in the G1 Climaxes and all that. So for this one, I do think Seth wins, but I do think we're gonna see Shinsuke get a lot of offense and come out very strong with this one because he's been talking about how Seth Rollins' back has been hurting him for years now, and he's never got it repaired. And they're kind of really leaning into that, so I think we'll see a lot of moments where Shinsuke is just beating the hell out of Seth, and he's trying to get back up, but he can't. And then somehow in the end, he kind of pulls off that last-second victory with this last breath, So, but I am gonna go Seth Rollins to get the win for this one.
I'm gonna go Shinsuke to do this one. I kind of like how you were saying how they're building into it with the back thing. I'm assuming they're taking that from the Logan Paul podcast where he had mentioned he had a bad back and all that. So I kind of like how they're incorporating things that they do outside of the ring into the ring with their promos and whatever. And I like how they left people wondering what he whispered in his ear that one night as well. People wondered for a whole week wondering what it was until they found out, obviously. But yeah, I got Shinsuke winning. This will be a big win for him to take the championship. I think Seth had a really good run. He had a lot of matches defending this. Not like he's just been sitting at home, just letting the belt collect dust. He's been putting it on the line a lot.
Sure.
He had really good matches with it. Had really big wins. Obviously won all of them because he's still the champion. But I'm gonna go with Shinsuke winning it.
Yeah, I think with this match, we're gonna see because Seth is obviously one of the best in the world, and Shinsuke is proven to be one of the best in the world, still even at, I think, over the age of 40 at this point. And I hope this match is very good because it's two of, I think, the best in the world still, and we'll probably go down as two of the best of all time. And I think there's an instant, banger, potential happening in this match. And with Shinsuke, I kind of do hope he wins for the simple fact that he still has never held a world champion yet. He hasn't won the Universal, hasn't won the WWE champion, so I would very much like him to finally hold a world champion, but sadly I don't think he'll be here tonight. But that is one of the matches I am most excited for, which will be my next question for you, is what is probably the match you are most excited for Payback?
Honestly, they're all pretty good. As much as people are saying they don't like the card, I really do like it.
Yeah.
So I like all of them. If I had to pick one, I mean, Seth Rollins and Shinsuke is going to be really good.
And then what do you think will be the best match on the card?
But probably the same thing, Seth Rollins and Shinsuke. if not that, then I think the Becky vs Trish could be really good.
Yeah, I think that's very dependent on how much time they give them. I think if they give them like, maybe after 20 minutes or maybe even 25, I don't know if Trish can go that long. I'm sure she can, especially with somebody who Becky Lynch will be able to take care of her inside the ring and make sure they go at a good pace to make sure they can go that full 25. But I also think that's that tag team match as well with the street fight. I think there'll be a lot of spots. Hopefully there's like a lot of hardcore spots. I think that's something that's missing in like WWE right now, is where when they do have street fights or like these like hardcore type matches, they don't go all out anymore. And I think on a pay-per-view they at least will. So, but yeah.
And I'm also kind of thinking this is some sort of Terry Funk kind of
Yeah,
like tribute match.
yeah,
I'm not 100% sure
yeah,
on it, but that's what it feels like.
Yeah, I feel like somebody Kevin Owens is definitely take some like wild spots. He's somebody who's willing to put his entire body on the line. We've kind of seen that a lot. But yeah, I think overall this was a very good card. I think for a B tier pay per view as well, it's very solid. Like, it's not supposed to be like a WrestleMania or a Royal Rumble type card. It's supposed to be a filler pay per view before the next one, and then obviously Survivor Series towards the end of the year. But yeah, I'm very excited for this card. I'm hoping we have a lot of good matches. But yeah, hopefully we see some title changes maybe, and some maybe debuts. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this one.
Yeah, and by the way, we didn't record our all-in review at the end. I got sick. We couldn't record it. We were gonna record it, but it was like too late. So yeah, we seen everything. It was really good, obviously. So yeah, we'll just end it with that.
Yeah. But yeah, let us know what you guys think. Who's gonna win each match for Payback 2023, and we'll catch you in the next video.